We just wanted to make unicorns. The idea was super simple. Create unicorns that were small, colorful, and articulated, and easy to print in quantity, so people could sell them at 3D printing fairs. It was supposed to be a cute, eye-catching, ready-to-go product. But there was a problem. On their own, they didn't grab enough attention. And at a fair, if people don't notice you instantly, they just keep walking. So we thought, alright, if the unicorns can't stop people by themselves, we need something that can do that for them. And that's where the carousel idea was born. At first, it sounded like a simple solution, a rotating display stand just to keep the unicorns highlighted. That alone would have already helped. But then came that kind of idea that feels brilliant in the moment and later turns into chaos.
What if they also move up and down?
That would be fantastic, like a real carousel. And that was it. What was supposed to be a simple stand turned into a full-on engineering project, because it stopped being just a pretty base. It became a rotating mechanism, a central shaft, friction control, a removable locking system, critical tolerances, and a bunch of details where a tiny mistake would ruin everything. And the funniest part is that in the end, the display almost became more impressive than the unicorns themselves. We designed the unicorns specially for fairs. They were small to print, fast, colorful to catch attention, and visually different from each other. We had a rainbow version, one inspired by Chinese New Year, the year of the horse. There was a moon unicorn and other theme variations too. As a product, they work, but a product that doesn't move is a product that you don't see. And we have already learned that in real life. At Expo 3D, which is a really big 3D printing fair, for example, our Medusa became the star, especially because it had presence. It made people look. So the question was, how do we give the unicorn that same effect? The answer seemed to be the movement. But making movement look good in a 3D printed part is always the same story. In theory, it sounds easy. In practice, it isn't. We built the first version of the mechanism and it failed. The rotations would jam, the unicorn supports pieces would bind, and the whole thing made this loud, awful noise, the kind that instantly tells you something is seriously wrong. And the worst part wasn't even the noise, it was the feeling that mechanism was fighting itself. Nothing felt smooth, nothing felt finished. It felt like any moment we would have to throw everything away and redesign it from scratch. But when we looked more carefully, we realized something really important. The problem wasn't exactly the mechanism design, it was the print. More specifically, the orientations of the part. The pin that held the unicorn was being printed upright, and that tiny detail was wrecking the whole system. Because when you print a part standing up, the layers are in a bad position for that kind of stress. On top of that, the base of the parts end up with a layer line texture, and that exact surface was rubbing against the bottom of the carousel. So more friction, more resistance, more noise. So the mechanism wasn't born bad, it was being sabotaged by the way the parts were being printed. Once we understood that, everything shifted. The first decision was to print the pin sideways, and that alone changed a lot. The part got stronger, the contact surface became more uniform, and that mechanical behavior improved a ton. The second decision was to create a proper path for the pin to follow. We made a hex-shaped track because before, when it was just a simple hole, it had too much freedom and would end up binding during the rotation. And the third decision was changing the tip of the pin. We added a rounded profile, almost like a C, to make contact with the base much smoother. That's when the carousel really started to transform. The rotation became light, friction dropped, the noise fell dramatically, and for the first time, it started to feel like a real product, not just a prototype full of good intentions. But there was still one thing that bothered us: the movement. It did rotate, sure, but up and down motion of the unicorns looked really bad. Too short, too fast, kind of stiff. Really artificial. It didn't have that visual charm a carousel is supposed to have. So we went straight to the parts that creates that motion, the cam lobes on the base. We stretched those curves so the climb and drop would be longer and smoother, and that completely changed the feel. The motion stopped looking overly mechanical. It started to have rhythm, it became satisfying to watch, and it finally started to feel like an actual carousel. Then came another challenge that seemed simple until it proved it wasn't. How do you hold the unicorns so they don't fall off? The first idea was a simple pin with a support, but during rotation they could slip out. The second idea was a round pin with a snap fit. Then we got a new problem. The unicorns started spinning on their own axis. So we would solve one thing and create another problem. So we moved to a hex profile that fixed the unwanted rotation pretty well. But depending on speed, there was still a chance it could slip. The final solution was the H profile with a center cut out for relief and controlled flex. And the key detail, it also started being printed sideways, especially to gain more strength. In the end, it gave us exactly what we needed. It flex when you insert it, looks securely, doesn't wobble during rotation, and still lets you remove the unicorn quickly when someone buys it. So safe, functional, and practical. But then came one of those invisible problems most people don't notice, yet it changed everything. Tolerance. Parts that works on one printer can come out too tight on another, or too loose. And in this case, both extremes are really bad. If it's too tight, the seller wastes time trying to remove the unicorns. And if it's too loose, it can fall off while spinning. So hitting a universal tolerance became a fine-tuning job, literally millimeters. And as if it wasn't enough, once the mechanism finally worked well, another challenge showed up. This time, aesthetic. It was the central column. The concept team had a really good idea for it. A marshmallow-like profile, as if two twisted shapes were wrapped around each other. Visually, it looked amazing. It was the kind of detail that makes the piece feel truly special. But there was a catch. If we printed that as one single part in two colors, it would require constant color changes, more print time, more wasted material, and a level of complexity that simply wasn't worth it. So we went into a smarter solution. Instead of one piece, we printed into two, each one in its own color and geometry, and the two fit together like a screw and a nut. One twist into the other. When assembled, it looks like one continuous bicolor part perfectly solved. But in reality, it was all printed separately. Faster, more efficient, way less wasted material. And in the end, we reached a result we were genuinely proud of. The carousel rotates smoothly, the unicorn rise and fall continuously, the system is quiet, the locking is secure, removal is quick, the aesthetic is solved without punishing print time, and the whole thing still works across different printers. So it stopped being just a display stand, it became a piece that grabs attention from far away, makes people stop and look, and makes the product on top feel even more valuable. So see, it's not easy to make models like this one. If you want models that are optimized, ready to print so you don't have any problems, check out STLFLIX, and there are a bunch of models like this one that we have created with much care.